The iPhone 16e was a good phone, but it also felt like Apple was holding back. No MagSafe, 128 gigabytes of storage in 2025, a new custom modem, yes, but one that seemed to lag behind the rest of the lineup. Complaints were loud and specific, and Apple listened. The new iPhone 17e fixes almost every single one of those problems, and the most surprising part is they kept it at the same $599 price. Let me walk you through the 6 upgrades that make this feel like the phone that the iPhone 16e should have been. First, the A19 chip. It's the same chip you'll find in the standard iPhone 17, and as such, CPU performance is nearly identical to the iPhone 17, with benchmark scores separated by less than 10 points. Now there is one catch here though. The A19 in the 17e has a 4-core GPU instead of the 5-core found in the iPhone 17, so graphics take a 20% hit. But look, if you're buying a $599 phone to play Resident Evil Village at max settings, you're doing it wrong. For 99% of people, that 20% drop is invisible. Now everything runs fast, Apple Intelligence works, and even gaming holds up. That A19 chip means this phone will last you for years, but only if you actually have the space to keep using it. That's where the second big fix comes in. 128 gigabytes in 2025 was already a stretch, and it felt like Apple was purposefully holding back. Between photos, apps, and 4K video, it's easy to hit that ceiling, especially on a phone where customers will typically hold on to it longer than other models. With the 17e, Apple doubled the base storage to 256 gigabytes while keeping the price exactly the same. Oh, and additionally, the 512 gigabyte option actually dropped in price from $899 down to $799. That is a legitimate value move. You get more room for your stuff at no extra cost. This is one of a handful of things that makes the iPhone 17e feel less like a budget compromise and more like a real iPhone. Okay, so storage is solved. Now let's talk about the feature people were loudest about being left out last year. Yes, Apple heard you, and they were humbled by the cries for MagSafe. And honestly, I agree. It was the absolute wrong move to include wireless charging on the 16e while leaving MagSafe out. Well, MagSafe is finally here on Apple's most affordable iPhone. Wireless charging doubles from 7.5 watts on the 16e all the way up to 15 watts. But the bigger deal is the ecosystem. Wallets, car mounts, battery packs, cases, everything just snaps on now. Standby mode also works the way it's supposed to when you drop it on a MagSafe desk charger. So along with the storage increase, this is another addition that makes the 17e feel like it actually belongs in the iPhone 17 family. MagSafe is the upgrade you can see and feel. Now the next one is invisible, but you'll notice it every single day, that being the C1X modem. You see, the iPhone 16e had Apple's first generation C1 modem. I actually got a behind the scenes exclusive tour of Apple's development labs last year when it was announced. I'll link it below if you want to check it out. It was pretty eye-opening. But the 17e steps up to the C1X, the same modem found in the iPhone Air. That means download and upload speeds up to 2 times faster, and it also uses 30% less energy than the modem found in the iPhone 16 Pro, which directly helps battery efficiency. And yes, efficiency is great for the battery, but none of that matters if the first time you drop this thing, it's game over. Apple is actually bringing their best glass to their budget model this year. And I personally think this is a super underrated feature, but the addition of Ceramic Shield 2 is big. If you own an iPhone 17 series device or an iPhone Air, you know about the magic that is Ceramic Shield 2. Every year, phone vendors promise that their glass is less prone to shattering and less prone to scratching. And every year, we see shattering and scratches happen with ease, but not so with Ceramic Shield 2. It brings 3 times better scratch resistance compared to the previous generation, plus a 7-layer anti-reflective coating that cuts glare by 33%. The displays on my 6-month-old iPhone 17 Pro Max and iPhone Air look brand new, which has never been the case in the past, so it's great to see here on Apple's entry-level model. Okay, so we have a durable screen, but what about that single lens rear camera? Well, we still have a 48 megapixel fusion camera, but the pipeline behind it is an improvement over the 16e. Apple is using a trick here that they usually reserve for the more expensive models, and it's the reason that this single lens is actually more capable than you might think. Now, the main new feature here is next-gen portraits. That's the feature that automatically detects people, cats, and dogs, capturing depth information so you can apply the portrait effect after the shot. Focus and depth control let you shift the focus point in post, which is a bigger deal than it sounds. Now, the standard iPhone 17 and 17 Pro use multiple lenses to capture that depth info, but like the iPhone Air, the 17e can do it with just a single lens, which is cool. Add 4K Dolby Vision at 60 frames per second and audio mix for video, and this is a serious camera for $599. So the hardware is all there, but the way you interact with it is still a generation behind, and I'm talking about something Apple kept for the rest of the iPhone 17 lineup. You see, the one thing that's missing for me is camera control. Camera control shows up on every other iPhone 17 and Air model, but not the 17e. And to me, it feels like a core iPhone feature now, not a pro perk. So here's hoping the 18e fixes that next year. And I can already see the comments. No one uses camera control, bro. You know who uses it like 30 times a day? Me. But in all seriousness, missing one button doesn't change what this phone is. The A19, 256 gigabytes, MagSafe, C1X, Ceramic Shield 2, and a 48 megapixel camera for $599. To me, it's actually competing with the regular iPhone 17 for the title of strongest value in the iPhone lineup right now. If you're on an older model and the iPhone 16e felt like too much of a compromise, then the 17e is the obvious upgrade that you won't regret. Thanks for watching as always, guys. I appreciate your support. I'm Andrew Edwards, and I'll catch you in the next video.